Yo, we're back again. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo and my partner, Don Dinero.
Hola, Mr. Money for the Gringo.
Yeah, que vola. And this is giving them the business. You heard? And I want to just, before I get started, I'm going to keep doing it every time I do this. I want to thank everyone for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Don't stop. We won't stop. You heard me? That's what we on. You keep giving it up, we going to keep giving it up. Thank you for everybody and all the support. We doing great. Everything is moving. And I wanted to have a warm welcome for my man, Corey Pegues. Yeah. Thank you for coming, man. And, you know, getting here to do this interview and everything. And I just, you know, we go back a minute, too.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling everyone, Corey used to be a detective, and he would always look out for me, tell me if I need anything. You know, if anyone was harassing me, which I was being harassed crazy, he would always let me know I could call him. And, you know, I believe I called you one time in the relationship. It was a late night call. I was hemmed up in Harlem, and you made a call for me and got me unhemmed up.
Sound like Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Jim called me one time. I was like,
one time.
My mom's, somebody got shot in front of the beauty salon in the Bronx. Wow. Can you take care of me? They got murdered. I said, "Hot damn. Call me for some real shit."
Yeah. But I always, again, thank you for coming. But we're going to, this way more deeper than that today. We're going to get into your story, what's going on. You know, a lot of people that don't know, you was just in that documentary with Supreme. Shout out Supreme, you heard?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get that date, boy. Get that date. And you was in the documentary that Nas did for the Supreme team. And I wanted to talk about how that all came about with you. What's the connection with you and Supreme?
Yeah, so, you know, first of all, thanks for having me. Dinero, Chris Gotti. You know, Queens get the money.
The
other piece they always forget. Yeah. Queens get the honeys. They always forget that.
Say that.
He's a problem.
Come here.
You can tell he's a problem. Hey. You know, I'm OG too, so I'm from the era of the money making Manhattan. I'm from the Heights, but it's all love.
It's all love. But nah, you know, way back in the days, you know, in my early teenage years, I was hustling on 198 in Murdoch, which you're very familiar with down the block from where you from.
Down the block.
And you know, I was with my little crew. It was like 5 of us. Then I graduated to working with Supreme Team. Actually, I used to work. Bimmy was who I used to work for. I used to hustle for Bimmy. And
Shout out Bimmy. Shout out Joe. You heard?
Shout out Bimmy, even though he mad at me right now. But
I think Bimmy's mad at me too. But
he mad at everybody.
I didn't do nothing. I think you know what? Let me take that back. Bimmy ain't mad at me. He probably mad at my brother. That's like being mad at me. Good. It's the same thing.
I just saw him at Farmers Day the other day. So
you know what I'm saying?
It's all good. So yeah, I used to hustle for him for the Supreme Team way back. And yo, you know what's crazy, Chris? I tell people all the time, they always say, "Hey, what's your first job?" And my first job was the Supreme Team.
Say that.
And I say that not like
and it was a job.
Hustling. What people don't realize is we had to work Monday through Friday. You know, usually in a hustling game, you get 20 off a pack.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
every
nothing about that, bro.
every $100 you get $20 off a pack.
Okay.
The Supreme Team, it wasn't an option. You got paid on Fridays. So we work Monday through Friday, and we got paid off. So if you sold
got a paycheck,
you got a check. It wasn't a check, you know.
Yeah,
you got
I know
a mint of money. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter if you sold 3,000, 4,000, 12,000, 15,000 on Friday. You got that number, and you couldn't even get a freaking day off. I remember my girlfriend was turning 16. I was like, "Yo, I got a limo and everything. I'm taking to City Island from Queens. I'm going to City Island. It was like, yo, you got to work."
Yeah.
I said, yo, I'm like, girl, I got to take out to dinner. It's like, nah, you got to work. Like, it was a job. And, you know, Supreme is the president. Prince is the VP, so on and so forth. Yeah. It was layers to it.
Shout out Black Just, God bless.
Oh, man, God bless. Blackie.
Yeah.
It was my first job. Yeah. Facts.
That's crazy. That's something I didn't know. You just told me something that I didn't know. He was really running like a job. Like when I say that, when I said a check, that was your check. It was cash, whatever.
Right.
It was a job, meaning you didn't get paid by the amount. You got paid by the days you worked and the hours you was on that block.
That's a super fact. I don't know how everybody else was getting paid. I know I had to work Monday through Friday.
You're probably when you came in at that level.
I was in the street level.
Right.
I was a street hustler. But not only that, we worked shifts.
And you said you was under Bimmy.
I was under BIM. And we worked shifts. We worked midnight to 8 in the morning, 8 to 4, and 4 to 12. But peep this.
Pick your slot.
Guess who else had those hours? The police. Yo, they was so ingenious. Listen, this is why I said Preem. Like, I never forget Jay-Z had that rhyme. I told Preem to leave it alone. Like, Preem was so far ahead of his time. Like, he was running a Fortune 500 company. Like, we had shifts.
Preem was one of the
Not only
smartest dudes
they
I
were
ever
smart
met.
enough to do the same hours, because if you did the same hours as the police, now you know you can get next to the cop. Like, yo, Chris, this is his beat. Cop's making $25,000. Be like,
Talk to
yo,
him.
listen, I'll give you $7,000 a week, $15,000 a week, easy, whatever it was. Money was hand over fist, and that's how it was just so. That's why.
That's what made it smooth.
We wasn't getting arrested or nothing. Nobody was getting arrested. If you look at Supreme Court, nobody was getting arrested.
To me, the one thing that what really fucked everything up was the Edward Burns shit.
That's the absolute reason.
That's the reason everything got fucked up. If y'all don't know, Edward Burns was a cop that was watching some witnesses and he got killed. And that created, they was like, and it wasn't Preem.
Absolutely
that was not Preem, so let's be clear. But because he is supreme in the hood there, everything they swept up, cleaned up everything. He was part of that cleanup.
Not only they cleaned up Queens, they cleaned up the United States of America.
At that time.
You gotta understand, Bush won. First George Bush, Edward Burns' mother and father gave him their son's shield. If you remember, he was running for re-election, and he had his shield. So you talking at the highest echelon, level. The highest echelon. So police
that's when they cut the check. They have budgets to do special task force to go in.
That was the creation of TNT.
Yeah.
I mean, it was real stupid. Like Preem would have never put that order out.
Never.
Like, you don't kill no cop. Like, nobody ain't doing that.
No, you mess all your money up doing that.
Right.
And based on what you're saying, he just wanted, at the end of the day, everybody was making money.
He wanted everyone to make money.
Yeah, operation.
He would fix beefs with enemies just so they could get money.
But, you know, if I can interject a little bit, I don't know the story, but now when I feel like I always throw a little Ifa in there.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because, look, what happens is, even though the operation was there, because we could say the same thing about the pharmaceutical company today, poisoning a ton of people.
Exactly.
See, because what happens is, sometimes making money is good, but the way you make money is not always. The fact that it was that type of, you know, let's say it was crack or whatever it was, and what you're putting back into the community. So the universe comes back and hits you in different ways. And even though they had nothing to do with that, that's all it took to start. You understand? It's like an energy. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you look at energy. It took us. I mean, from the other side, somebody sacrificed their life to supposedly, it wasn't no clean up the streets. It was, now we have a reason to cut the check to now let's harass. And right, and they took that route. So, you know, I mean, it doesn't change the stories. It doesn't change what's happened. But at the end of the day, it's still, we wasn't doing the most positive things to humanity at the moment either.
Yeah,
compared to who we are today.
I bring it up because, again, to tie it back with me, the feds would be coming to my house while we was under investigation.
Right.
They would come to my house like 2 to 3 times a week to talk to me, and they would always tell me, they made sure to tell me, if you don't talk to us, you're going to be right next to him. And they was like, he's the one that's not getting away. He's not getting away. And I'm like, but he didn't do nothing. But that was what it was all about. It was all still.
It was all
just
about.
Imagine that. How many years later, it was still about that. And they let me know very clearly it was still about that.
And it's still about that.
It's still about that. They're never going to let that go. They could hang anything on that, and it's going to be cool with the people.
Too much money invested in him to take him down. Yeah. They have to. Look at it. Let's look at it from a business side. When you look at it from there, we say they're sitting around saying how much. we like 100 million in on this dude.
Yeah. It's a business. It's a business.
That's how I'm looking at it.
It's a business.
So they got to. They cannot.
I learned that the hard way, that they're really a business. They have unlimited funds, unlimited resources, unlimited ink. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's very important because that's what perception becomes created because they write articles negatively about you, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that after the fact, not like while you're in that storm, you really don't get it.
Right.
But afterwards, you start putting it together, like as time goes on, like, man, how did I navigate through that shit?
Exactly.
There's another thing that's happening now that I don't think they counted on. A lot of people coming home, for example, from that whole Meach situation, right? So they lock you up, they say 20 years. Laws. They thinking maybe because they don't, remember, they might incarcerate you. They don't come nowhere near the prison. They're like, these people, some people come home even stronger with the way social media is now. Like Supreme continues to live on through documentaries. We're talking about him, right? I don't think they're counting.
They never put that in the equation.
No. Absolutely not.
That they were making these people, they really end up being heroes in a weird way because you start seeing the injustice of what's really so much. You're spending so much time and effort on one guy who really didn't do anything.
And listen,
and then when you watch your documentary, how much money and time they spend on also trying to kind of take you guys down. So you start putting two and two together, and you're like, man, like damn. But then again, when you do the long play, God doesn't like ugly. So regardless of what side of the fence you're on, if they're doing bad, we will always win.
And I'm telling you, you heard it here on this podcast. Prince got a very, very good chance of coming home.
Oh, he's gonna come home. He's gonna come.
Let's keep Prince only got drug charges.
That's it.
He ain't got no bodies.
Right.
And with the, reimagined police and changing the laws, all he got is drug charge. Like, how long you gonna keep somebody in jail for selling drugs. Freaking drugs?
That's right.
Prince got a
he was white,
very
he'd
good
been home.
He'd have been home. He got a very good chance. The only reason
Sammy the Bull had all the bodies and came home. Even though he told it don't matter, that's how bad to me things are because he admitted to all those killings and they still willing to let him go.
That's right.
That's why the system is so bad.
But think about why, because they had so much money invested in who?
Yeah, Gotti. But I'm just saying that's why it's so bad.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like that he could admit to killing all these people. And it's still okay. What about all those families?
Because they're the ones that.
Then he came home and got caught with all that shit. And you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right afterwards.
So when we say people taking deals, and think about, they're encouraging. Remember how our culture is. That's so anti-who. I mean, we come from a different era that.
Sure.
First of all, you couldn't be on the streets. Anybody couldn't. See, even though he says he had to be a special individual to be doing what he was doing. Yeah. I don't know if he was 16, 17, 18 at that time that you were saying. Every 16, 17-year-old couldn't be out there.
That's a fact.
Right? Today.
So there's an interesting story he has that I heard about that I wanted him to get into while he was with the Supreme Team. That kind of, was that like a life-changing thing for you? And I want to hear how you portray the story, how it went down, because I don't know all the details.
Yeah, so
but I definitely heard some crazy shit.
Yeah, one day I was in the park. I used to hustle in Baisley Park, basketball course. And I'm not going to name no names, but my man came to pick me up with a super high-ranking member of the Supreme Team. It was like, yo, need you to get in the car. I'm going to take you somewhere. We're going to point this guy out, and you're going to kill him. He passed me a 9mm. So if you remember, my story, I was trying to get sneakers, money, and girls.
Fresh.
So the audience, y'all know, I ain't no killer. That shit just ain't in my blood. I was just trying to be fresh. I grew up on welfare. I was like 16. I was on welfare, grew up on welfare. My mother couldn't give me what I wanted, so I was hustling, but I wasn't trying to kill nobody. So now they take me, I never forget, 112th in Suffolk. It was Jamaican Pool Hall. I never forget it in my life. And we walked. I changed their names in my book.
Sure,
Once a Cop. Make sure y'all get my book, Once a Cop.
We're going to get to the book, Once a Cop. It's out now.
It's out. Bestseller. And so we go there. Now, I'm in the back of the car. And the name in my book, the name of that chapter, you know what the name is, Sarah? Oh, God, please.
Oh.
That's the name of the chapter.
That's dope.
Oh, God, please.
That's the name of the chapter, Chris, because I was like, fuck.
You was like, oh God, please, in the
Exactly.
car.
But I know, yo, Chris, I gotta kill him.
Yeah.
It's not even an option. If I don't kill him, guess who dies?
Yeah. It's on you.
It's on me.
Right afterwards.
So I'm like, damn. So I got the 9, and I did the prayer, through the popcorn prayer, like, God, get me through this. I promise you get me through this. I'm out of here.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
We get to the pool. It's like 50. It's a Jamaican pool hall. Smoke everywhere. We get in the joint. It's like 50 people in there. And the hot boss, high ranking level, he walk up to everybody like right in their face. Like, first guy, that's not him. Second, I'm like, phew. Second guy, third. He get all the way through the joint to the last guy. He's like, yo, he ain't in here. So we go back to the car. My man said, yo, give me the hammer. So I gave him the gun. He was like, yo, you wasn't gonna kill no motherfucking body. So they start laughing.
Yeah,
and in my mind, I'm like, I'm so happy. But then I realized, like, sometimes they did tests. Mm-hmm. Like, yo, we took him on a run. Like,
he was right there.
He passed the test. He was ready to put it down. So we got him on the next one.
Yes.
The next one, the real one, we know he bout it.
He ready.
I got the fuck out of there, man. 2 weeks later, I went to the Army. I said, yo, because I wasn't there.
I'm an Army vet too. I'm an Army vet too. That's dope.
Yeah. Yo, you know what I'm saying, Chris?
Yeah, it wasn't for you.
At the point, I'm 17, I'm 18. I had 2 kids. I had 2 kids 6 months apart. I had a girl. My daughter was in Queens. My son was in Brooklyn. My son was born in December. My daughter was born in June. So I'm hustling. I'm trying to get money.
Right.
It's 87. Like, I'm trying to get money.
Yeah.
But I wasn't trying to get money killing somebody. I couldn't walk around with no body on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That would have changed your destiny forever.
Of course it would have changed.
You know, at the end
destiny.
of the day, like, I talk to the young kids. I know you do a lot of talking to the young kids also. I understand, just listening to your story, I know you understand just the same, that you might be involved with something that you really don't even understand what it fully is at that moment because you're young, you don't understand it. You think you do and you really don't. You probably thought you knew everything going on, but now hindsight, you realize it probably was a test or whatever it may be. At the moment, you thinking you really gotta hit it. You gotta put them down.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's crazy because I know myself, I'm gonna speak for me personally, I did a ton of things that I never thought about.
Right.
It's because someone asked me, let's do something.
Right.
And I just did it. And I didn't think of consequences or anything. I just did it.
Right.
And it's weird because in hindsight, you look back at those moments and you're like, God really looked out for you. Yeah. Like, God protect children and fools. And I wasn't a kid.
Exactly. Hey, yo,
you know what I'm saying?
Yo, the other piece of that, Chris, I was scared to death.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, yo, I respect the gangster. The real gangster, like, you could pull that trigger to take somebody's life. You know. Yo, that's... Yo, I was walking through that pool hall, God. I was like,
I would get nervous. Please. It's funny you say that. I would get nervous after. I would never get nervous in the moment. It's weird. My body shuts down, like numb to this shit or whatever it was. And I'm not saying I killed anybody. That's not the case.
Right.
Anything I did is still the same.
There's no statute of limitations.
Yeah. But that's not part of my life anyway. That's not part of my life. But at the end of the day, no matter what it is, to this moment, if chaos broke out here, I get cool.
Right.
Afterwards, I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that it's kind of reversed for me, and that's just me personally. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't do it to say I'm any superhero tough nigga. That's not it.
Right.
Just really, my poker face is really good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? No matter what it is, my poker face is why I'm probably still breathing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I knew how to navigate through it. Because I knew how to stay calm in that moment and get through it. And then afterwards, like, oh, shit, thank God. Oh, like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And I've been through so many situations like that. But I try to talk to the kids because these mistakes they making today is lifetime mistakes that they going to live with.
Lifetime.
Even caught or not caught. It doesn't matter. You still going to live with it. And I'm trying to tell them that you don't have to, but you got to really be almost in the moment of your life. You know what I'm saying? We have a E5, he talks E5, that's a religion. That's
philosophy. Yeah, it's a culture philosophy from.
So it's remember to remember and stay in the present. Like we want to make sure we're right here. I'm with you right now.
Right.
I don't need to go back or go forward. I know what we're doing right now, and that's very important for the kids to understand because in those moments they could make the right decisions if they pay attention.
I mean, when you say that, in my book I said life is two things: choices and decisions. Yeah. But there's also people don't understand. There's a destiny aspect. You were not destined. The reason those who, when you say, yo, those guys who pull the trigger, were destined to take someone's life.
Right.
Sometimes in someone else's destiny, in their book, they're destined to die in a helicopter crash like Kobe did. Right. They're destined to be on the other side of that bullet, whatever. Sometimes the person that's getting killed, let's say, wasn't the greatest individual on the planet. 9 times out of 10, when these things are happening, especially back in the day, now today these kids kill you for anything. Back then you could get robbed and they'll take your shit. Right. Motherfuckers was not smash. Now they smash you and then they take it. Yeah. Right. So the think about the energy and the evilness and the mentality now that's out there compared to guys who were just trying to hustle, make money. Now, if you were in that deep, there were consequences, and you kind of. But not too many people survived those eras. To even have these stories that we have today. So
you go to. Let's catch back up. So you leave the Supreme Team, go in the Army. How long was you in service? How long you served in the military?
3 years and 8 months.
3 years and 8 months. He knows how many days. Was that like a jail sentence? That's why you know it like that?
I hate it. Yo, Chris, we from the streets.
Facts.
I hated I hated sleeping out in the woods. Yeah. I hated eating them MREs.
If you signed up so quick, that means you must have been. They put you infantry right away.
Yeah, quick.
Quick because you had to get out quick. So
I had to go. I was like, how fast could you get me out the jungle? I gotta get out these streets, and I got 2 kids. Crazy. I gotta go.
Were you active duty? Were you active duty during the first Iraq? Yeah, me too.
That kept me 8 more months.
Yeah.
They signed off, saying, "Yo, we having a war." I said, "Damn it!" Then they offered me $25,000 to re-enlist. I said, "Fuck out of here! I don't want that money. I can make that money in the street. I'm getting the fuck out of here."
How they caught me is when I was walking my man. So I had a similar story like you. So when I heard a lot of my football buddies, when I walked by 181st and I signed when my buddy he was in a shootout in the elevator. Elevator. I mean, you fighting for your life. Somebody back close. When Lottie Dottie got killed, I was like, yo, fuck this, man. I had a little ass. Josecito was young. I walked by, but I scored so high. My shit is crazy, bro. They gave me mad money and they put me in a special cohort. Like my shit was different, and they sent me right. So a month later, I was out. So when it comes to what you're saying. I hated. I got out after because I hated the fact that somebody who had a little stripe more than me fucking tell me what to do. I hated that shit. That's what I know. And being from New York and that, so I dealt with it. Football got me through the basic training. All that shit was easy for me. But knowing this little motherfucker because he outranked me,
Alabama,
because he outranks me,
right,
and you couldn't do shit. You go to jail.
Do nothing.
Hey, that was crazy. But then
I'm telling you, listen, it was a nice pause for me.
You
know what I'm saying? So, like, my life is all these different chapters. I grew up poor. I was a hustler. I was in the Army. I fucking with the police department, hustling books. Now I'm hustling TV deals in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? So every chapter, it was like, yo, close that door, on to the next one. But that was the greatest pause for me, going to the military. Because when I came home,
you needed it.
So think about this. October 18th, 1987, I go to the military. February, Eddie Byrne get killed. Feds take down the whole. No, 2 weeks after I go October. 2 weeks after I go to the Army, the Feds take the Supreme Team down. Everybody throwing shit out the windows. Everybody, the whole team down. And then in February, the cop gets murdered. So like by the skin of my teeth, I escaped all it. I come on 3 years and 8 months later, everybody's dead or in jail.
That's exactly what they said. They would come to my house and be like, they're either dead or in jail, and you'll be right next to them.
Everybody.
This is shit, the threats they was giving a
nigga.
Yeah.
Yo, I felt so bad for y'all, man, when I saw y'all being walked out. I'm saying, these is good dudes, man. But you know what that was all about. That was all about tying up your resources. So y'all
took it all.
Yeah, that was all. You know,
I took all of my bread. Irv had more money.
Yeah,
Irv had more money, but Irv made a lot more money than me.
Yeah, but they froze, so y'all
couldn't do nothing during that time. But he still had other money that was coming in. That was a lot of money. Like me, all my money was there.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So we get through. You get through the military, and then you get into the police.
Yeah.
You could get into the biggest gang in the city.
The biggest
in the
gang
country.
in the country.
And the biggest gang in the country, NYPD.
Exactly. Hey, yo, you know, when I was a cop, I used to always say, like, I go to the gang corners or whatever. I tell the Bloods, Crips, and Nietas, and MS-13s, I'd be like, yo, let's call for help. All of y'all, right now. Y'all gotta go on fucking social media. I just go Scooty Who. I got 200 people here. Why you want to mess with the police, man? Leave the police alone. It's the biggest gang wherever you go
in the country. NYPD.
And you know what?
With all the other gangs in
team
other
and all that.
Yeah.
Well, today you see all this YouTube with the police. Like when I was in the street,
never.
I want to talk to police. Police say get off the corner.
Off the corner.
No problem, sir. We not asking no questions. No. Why I gotta move? Why you pulling
all that talking back? All that talking back. They do the
nah. Yo, Chris,
Hey, yo, while you was with the team, you might know my brother-in-law Wayne. Wayne carried you from the 103rd.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but we didn't talk to the police.
Wayne was on it. He was helping. It was a
different era. It was a different. I don't know. They all talk to police. They all give it to police all the time. We was taught like, because you don't want to bring heat to the block.
Yeah. You fuck up the bread.
Fuck the bread up. Today,
they're not making money in the block.
They never going to see that money, man. They never going to see that money.
Too many cameras, too much shit is different.
Yo, we used to get so much money. And yo, y'all need to bring Bim on here. Tell you, yo, we used to take the 1s and the 5s and put it in a big pile and burn them.
Yeah.
You just couldn't count it. It was too much. The 1s and the 5s couldn't even be counted. Yeah. Just burn them. It was just so much money. It was crazy.
Garbage bags of them. Give them out.
And at New Jack City, I don't care what nobody say. New Jack City definitely was loosely based on the Supreme. I'm never gonna forget. We had a condo in Flushing.
There's a movie with LL Cool J that's loosely based.
We had a condo in Flushing, and I remember going in there, and we had the girls butt naked, bagging up because they couldn't, stashing it.
That's right.
When I saw New Jack City, I'm in the army.
Yeah.
And I see New Jack City.
They got you.
Oh, shit. This is what we did.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But it's great that they depicted it, right? Because that is like real deal.
And when I was a lieutenant in Harlem, the Carter houses.
Yeah.
Where they shot New Jack City.
That's crazy.
And you can't even live in the Carter houses right now.
Nah. Crazy. So what made you go and become a cop, though?
So, you know how it is. You growing up, back when we grew up.
I know how it is.
Parents was like, take all the city tests. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that part. So I blame my mother and father for that shit, yo. They would always tell us, take those city tests.
Take the city
tests.
That's
a good job.
You know what I'm saying? So I took the test.
You can get a pension.
Right.
I took the police test.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you my story when you finish.
So I took the test. So I took corrections and I took PD. So I got out March 13th, 91. And then January, like 9 months later, when the police called me, I was like, yo, I'm in.
That's crazy.
Like, yo, I just wanted to change my life.
What precinct's off 125th Street, 126th Street right there?
The 2-8. That's what, I was a lieutenant in 2-8, around the corner from the Apollo.
Okay, so I take the police test, and I go through everything. Now I'm on the psychology part, right? That's what you got to go through. Mm-hmm. I don't know this. I'm young and stupid, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Don't know nothing better, but I took the test. I'm going through the process. And I'm at the 2-8. They assigned me a detective to go through my psych shit. Right. And he talking to me real crazy. Mm-hmm. And I always had a problem with the way people talk to me. Of course. Mm-hmm. I always had a problem with the way people talk to me. And I'm like, I'm just here to get a job. Like, what you talking to me like this for? Right. Not realizing that's his job.
Right.
He's here trying to break me from a psych.
Exactly.
And then he asked me about some arrests I had, and I could go into a 103rd precinct with Wayne, my brother-in-law, who saved me. That's a whole nother story. I'll do that off camera. But end of the day, I'm going, all of this shit is in my file. Mm-hmm. And all I hear, you know, this is old school, so all you hear is the printer printing this shit up, my rap sheet with all the things from tickets to any arrest. Now, I won all my cases and I have all my shit, but I was arrested a bunch of times.
Right.
And he's just looking at me because he hears that printer going crazy. And I'm thinking, me stupidly thinking, I'm going to get locked up or something. I promise you, that's what was in my head. He comes back, got the whole shit, it's pages and pages, and he's looking at me. He's like, you got this? And he's talking mad aggressive. So I always looked at police in this way, so I was like, damn, he gonna lock me up. That's what I thought. I said, listen, it's just a job. I don't need all of this extra shit, you know what I'm saying? He said, you don't want to be here? I said, no. He said, you can leave. You can leave. I grabbed my shit and I left. It never went back. But that's what his job was. He broke me. From a psychology standpoint. I had all my paperwork. You know you have to do all of that work.
Yeah, you got to do all that
I had all that shit together. But the way he talked to me made me feel like he was going to lock me up and hold me. And
but
I was
that's
like,
their job. They always try to weed us out.
But I'm glad I didn't stay. Yeah. Well, whoever your name is, if I can find that shit, I would promise you that was a crazy.
The GOD had another plan for you.
Yes, he did, and that's what I mean. I'm glad I didn't stay, but I could have easily been a cop. I passed that test. I took sanitation, all of them.
Right. That's what we did.
You know, it was transit. Now it all merged, but before it was transit, and then it was cops. Yes. I did all of them tests right out of high school, no plan, didn't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. That's why I talk to these kids, because I am them.
Exactly.
I didn't know shit. And yes, I did some crazy shit.
Right.
I did probably more shit than they did.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I ain't bragging about it. It's just people asked me and I didn't turn it down. I just did it.
Right.
Real ignorant shit. When I look back, it was me just
think about the time I go, me and my man, three of us, like four of us, like, yo, let's go to Andrew Jackson and rob somebody for a triple fat goose.
For the triple fat, baby.
Triple fat. So it's like, yo, fuck it, let's go. Andrew so we go up to Jack. It's in the book. In the book. So we go up to Jack. Two of them go in.
Name the names.
They rob.
Who is it? I probably know these assailants.
You definitely know these assailants. They go inside. They rob the dude. So the one with the coat is running, and the dude is chasing with a freaking knife. The narrow chase, getting ready to stab him. So my man hit me with the hammer. It's like, yo, get him.
Get him.
Pop, 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 pop. So the dude drop. I shoot him. God bless the dead. We can say my man Dave Edwards. You know Dave Edwards.
Come on, God bless the dead.
One of the best ballers in America.
One of the best ballers. That's a fact.
Georgetown and everything. So Dave, I gave Dave the gun. I said, yo, put this in your book bag. Meet me on the block. We go back to 198 America. And we like partying. Like
nothing
just shot some. So all my mind is, I hope this is one of my old God moments. Like, I hope this dude ain't dead. Then the next day, find out he got shot in the knee. I take the newspaper article out. I swear to you, I'll text it to you tomorrow. I keep it as a trophy.
Wow.
Yes.
It's in my book. I still have the article from shooting the dude. Man. I hope he don't find out what I'm talking about. He might come. Hopefully he turned out to be a nice guy. Hopefully he in jail or not. He gotta come and get him. It's like 35 years ago.
Shit. Fucked my knee up. I was gonna be a basketball player. Now, let me stop. I'm only kidding, yo.
Yeah, but we did, like you said.
We different. We did dumb shit. Again, nigga threw you the gun and you just do it on reaction, not even thinking. We was getting
money though. Yeah. We didn't even have to rob nobody, but we just did stupid stuff. Like, let's go get a triple
Listen, Supreme Team was notorious. I'm from Hollis, Queens, so for me, Supreme Team was a notorious group that I had beef with niggas from Southside just because they from Southside.
Because you from Hollis. It was a beef. Automatic without even saying nothing. It was an automatic beef.
It was on site. It was whatever. You Southside. It wasn't about I knew you or anything. But at the end of the day, with that being said, it's like if you knew it was Supreme Team, and I fuck with Black Just and Bimmy.
Right.
While they was Supreme Team. So those are two of his lieutenants. You know what I'm saying?
Two of his
top niggas, right. And I fuck with both of them niggas. Like I fuck with Joe, his brother, Bimmy's brother Joe. Shout out Joe, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I didn't want no smoke with them niggas.
Right.
All the other Southside niggas, I was just talking to Box. You know Box?
Yeah, I know Box.
Box is my man. Shout out Box. I was just talking to Box about that because his brother played football with me, bass. Man, Bay saved me one day with all them Southside niggas coming, ripping open the doors on the bus. I fought every day in high school.
Yes.
Like, people don't understand. Like,
Facts.
that's what I did every day.
Every day.
I didn't go home and talk about it to no one like Irv is my little brother. I didn't go and talk to Irv.
Yeah.
My little bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Southside against
I would lose my
Northside
books
all
every
the
day. I
time.
was the first backpack rapper. Nigga, I was keeping it because I didn't want to lose my books. And I'll keep losing my books, so I started wearing backpacks so I could keep my hands ready.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go to, especially them Southside niggas ripping them doors open, coming in from the front,
all
the
the
back,
time.
and fucking everything up. You go to the avenue, the Q2, only bus to go to Hollis.
That's right.
And if you didn't get on that bus, you had problems with niggas in Hollis. Why wasn't you on the bus?
Right.
So this is really my life coming up with this shit. But when you talk Southside, and that's the king of that is Supreme, of that Southside shit, and I didn't want, if I knew they was in the club, like if we went to Encore or Fantasia in these clubs. Club 50, you heard?
I don't know about that. They don't know about Club 50.
That. But even if you knew they was in there, I didn't want to be in there. And I was heavy with my niggas from House. I'd be like, come on, let's get out of here. Because I didn't want that smoke with them, because I knew we'd probably be outnumbered or outgunned or whatever it was. And I didn't want, you can't fight every fight.
Yeah.
You can't just fight every fight. I learned that from
But you know what? Yo, the mystique of just like being with the team was just, for you used to wear the sweatsuits with the Latina shorts on top.
Yeah. See, that was the style. I might bring that back. The sweats, that was with the Latina shorts on top.
Luke know what we talking about.
Yeah, that's how I used to be. That's a Queens thing. It's not just Southside, but you might have first been. But Nick, we used to have the sweats on with the Latiga with
Chris, you gotta bring that back.
They gotta bring it back. That shit is fire. That style was fire.
They won't even understand.
They won't even understand it.
Yeah.
So we get through that again. That's crazy times. You just brought me back. You just brought me back right there, man. But we get through all of those things, and now you have this. You're a detective. And with the police.
Inspector.
An inspector.
Inspector.
So explain what an inspector is so we know clearly.
Yeah, so.
And this is very important for the youth to understand that cop that's walking that beat is just like you. He just made a different choice in life. That's all it is. He could have easily been banging right next to you, with you, locked up with someone, and then again, they made a different choice. And this is where I get my problem with, let's say, police. And I'll get into it. Because of that exact fact.
You gotta understand,
I feel there should be more, like you just said, you would talk to the police when you was with Supreme Team.
Yeah.
I feel that's what's missing, that community aspect, that cop understanding exactly who the fuck you are, where you from.
That's one of the reasons I became a cop. When Andrew Jackson, remember they had a cop assigned to all our schools.
Of
we
course.
had the worst school. So the cop would talk to me every day like, yo, he knows I'm coming to school with big rope chains, medallions with 27 diamonds. He was like, but he's like, yo, that's not you.
Yeah.
He said, yo, you could do this, man. Get a house, it's a good pension, take care of your family. I'm like, I ain't fucking with no punk ass police. But in the back of my mind, it was there.
Sure. He planted the seed. The seed was planted.
So when they say, yo, you gotta kill this guy, I always had that in my mind.
Once you became an inspector, or what roles did you play as a cop? What trainings did you do, like for the police, inside of the police department with the public? Or how did that work?
First I was a cop. I was a cop for like 5 years and 8 months. Then I got promoted to sergeant in like 98. And then I got assigned as a training sergeant. So the training sergeant does all the training for the cops, all the cops in the precinct. So one day they send me the packet for training. Every month we had different training. So I get the packet. It's a VCR tape. VCR for y'all young people. They don't even know what those are.
My mother calls it a VHS.
Yeah.
The VHS tape.
It's a big cassette tape. You know that it's a big cassette tape. So we would listen to music in a little one, then we would have a big, thick one to watch fucking movies.
Exactly. So I popped the tape in, and I'm doing the training. So all of a sudden, the tape is the tape of the Supreme Team.
Wow.
So they're all starting to come home. Remember, when I left 2 weeks later, everybody got locked up. Just a few years later, and the NYPD is worried. Like, these dudes coming home, they're getting ready to cause havoc. Yeah. So there's a flow chart. You got Preem, you got Prince, you got Wise, Just. So I'm sitting here, Dinero, saying, shit, I hope my picture don't pop up because they're doing the whole flow chart live. And I'm like, 3 or 4. I'm like 5 years removed from being like, this is all my mans that I come up with. Wow. Iron Horse, everybody's on there. Wow. Green Eye, everybody's on the tape. Wow. And I'm like, it gets to the end, and I'm not on the tape. And I'm just like, listen, guys, you know, these guys are dangerous. You know, make sure y'all know all the facts. You know, whatever. I gave the little whatever I had to do. But it was another ooh-ah moment for me, like, damn. Because I'm trying to change my life. I ain't telling nobody that I'm...
Your past, whatever you do.
Yeah, I'm not saying nothing. You know, I retired and told everything, but I ain't telling nothing while I'm working. Moment, I'm trying to take care of my family, man, my wife and kids. It was...
Like you supposed to.
It was crazy.
Like you supposed to. You navigated through all of that, man.
You had 21 years not being able to say, but I had moments like I remember I had a sergeant when I was a cop. He said, "You from South Queens, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You know the Supreme Team?" I was like, "I heard about them. You know, I grew up over there." He said, "Yeah, I locked all of them up." Yo, true story, facts. Swear on the Bible right now. This same sergeant I'm talking about, he texted me 20 minutes ago before I came here.
Wow.
20 minutes before. He read my book. He was like, "You motherfucker.
You lied to me.
You knew all of them motherfuckers.
You lied to me."
Yeah.
And he was actually pressing me. I'm driving him, and he's like,
crazy?
"You don't
These
know
stories remind me of a guy,
crazy,
a dear friend, Larry Miller. Larry Miller is the president and CEO of Brand Jordan, the sneakers.
Yes.
So
yes.
Larry's my man.
Somebody was telling me
when
that
I tell you, I know
him.
Larry now close to 20 years. He just wrote a book. I know him for close to 20 years, Dinero.
His story, you think
his story's crazy.
His story is nuts.
He smashed niggas. He was always in fear.
In charge of Jordan.
Running
brand.
all of this multi-billion-dollar business, he was always in fear that they gonna find out. And he's gonna get fired and embarrassed. And when you talk to him, Larry, I love you, brother. You was always, I told him to his face, I let him know. I said, when I met you, I always thought you was just a square, like an educated black dude, square. And nah, he was about that work.
He's about, and you know what I like about his story? The most thing I like, Jordan backed him.
And Jordan stuck with him.
Jordan backed
He said he said the hardest call he made in his life, he had to call Jordan to tell him his background and history, where he came from. And I was like, man, I commend you. But he said he would almost damn near get sick from hiding.
Yeah,
because your body's gonna,
what the hell you
know
think?
Don't worry, Larry. I need you on here, Larry. I
had to deal with that, man.
That's what I was just gonna say. I'm gonna say you lived that same thing.
Yes,
where you just never told, or you had to hold.
I read his story and was like, damn,
similarities.
And you know Skip. Of course, you know Skip.
Rafer.
I know Rafer.
Shout out Ray.
His brother. It's my man, his brother. I remember coming into 2A precinct. His brothers got locked up in the cell for selling, like clothes, sneakers, whatever you call that, counterfeit products.
Right.
1-2-5. They always say swoop them up. So I
he's
go
in the precinct.
He in the precinct in the cell.
You gonna make me tell my story? Go ahead.
I go in and I'm like, yo, what the fuck you doing in here? It's like, yo, they bagged me. So I said, yo, come here. Tell the cop I'm a lieutenant. I got power. Like, yo, come here. Take him out the cell. Yo, you hungry? So go get some McDonald's, whatever you want. Give him some cigarettes, whatever. This is my man. Yo, he just told me about a few months ago we was in at a funeral. He said, yo, you remember you came to see me in the cell? I was like, yeah. He said, yo, when you left, Internal Affairs came to interview me, and they was asking me about you. They was like, yo, tell me stuff about him. What the fuck are you talking about? Whatever. He said, yo, they wanted me to put a wire on. And this is 30, 20 years, 20-something years later.
Larry, so I mean, and
crazy, right?
Me, Brad, Rashid, these are my Hollis dudes. I know
Come
you
on,
know.
those my dudes.
I know you know them.
Rashid just texted me. He was like, yo, I read your book. You was doing all of that shit. I ain't know that.
Shout out Rashid. Man. And Brad and D. And we get in my car and we going to do something. We run, we go do it. We light some niggas up. Bang, bang, bang. I make the turn down Liberty Avenue, my car, battery cable pop. Cops is coming. You hear all the sirens, everything. I'm like, I tell Rashid, I'm like, I can fix it. Don't worry about it. Stupid ignorance. I'm telling you, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I can fix it. Don't worry about it. D, only smart nigga, he's like, I'm out of here. He got all the guns and everything in the car.
Right.
Cop pulls up, throws a flashlight, and what's going on? I said, so I'm just trying to fix my car battery. But Brad gets scared. He jump out the back and start running. He got the bulletproof vest on, the pants, bulletproof pants.
Right.
Got guns all on him. They catch him, beat his ass, bring him back. They beat me and Rashid. We go to the 103rd precinct. I brought this up because I seen the mayor, Eric Adams, talk about the 103rd precinct. He got locked up there.
Yes, yeah.
But
My
anyway,
man, shout out Mayor Adams.
you know what I'm saying?
He just texted me an hour ago.
That's what's up. I need to meet that dude. I need to talk with him.
We can make that
He
happen.
could fix a lot of things, and he should be supporting my son. My son,
Yeah.
my son.
Shout out to my son.
Shout out my son. My son just did some incredible stuff in the Bronx with some people, some gang
Me and him
shit.
just spoke together in
and
Mount
they should
Vernon.
give that man his budget and let him go to work.
I love him.
And he's gonna do the right thing. And shout out to Tamika too.
Tamika.
But anyway, I get locked up. Me and Rashid, we get locked up. Brad is on a he gets sent right away because he was on
parole.
probation.
Yeah.
Parole. So he gets sent right away. He got to do like 18. And me and Sheed is in the 103rd precinct. My brother-in-law was a cop in the 103rd. Walks in and just takes that double take, like sees me in there. He don't say nothing. See how you went in? He wasn't a lieutenant to go do that. He didn't have that power.
Yeah.
That nigga went in and did something.
Uh-huh.
I ain't gonna say, but all I know is there was no more case.
Wow.
We sitting there,
Yeah.
and then we sitting there another day. You know, you're supposed to go right to that Queen's house and
Right.
get sentenced
To
or
the
whatever.
bookings.
And we never got sent out. And then I believe it's the captain's like, why are they still here? So he sends us, but there's no paperwork. They don't know why we here. We don't have no guns, no evidence, no nothing.
Right.
That nigga took everything away.
That's
I
good.
go downtown. The judge was like, what? What do we got here? They have nothing? Let them go. Boom.
Wow.
And we walked. Me and she was like, yes.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
talk to she, you ask him about that
Yeah,
day.
that's a blessing.
Because he stayed with me.
Mm-hmm.
He stayed with me and asked him. The police whipped our ass and everything and took us in after that because they caught us with guns.
They always whipped our ass.
Oh, yeah, they beat us with no hesitation.
All the
No
time.
hesitation.
They used to go in my pockets and take my money and fucking leave. Just take out money when I was on Murdoch. They would take
And
the
I
money
never
and
tell
leave.
that story. I never tell that story.
Yes, sir.
And Wayne is he's my ex brother-in-law. He's still brother. You know what I'm saying? I got 2 nieces and shit that he's the father for, and he did that for me.
That's good, man.
Yeah, you
But we
just
always
reminded me
need
that
the
because you
blessing.
just did. You have to get them blessings.
Well, I was a cop in the 114 precinct in Astoria. So, tragedy, Nas,
Shout out Trash, yo.
Nori,
Gaddafi.
all of these, all of these dudes used to go. My beat was, I was on 41st side. I was on the 41st side, and them dudes used to be like, "Yo, you a cop?" They was like, "Yo, you ain't no regular cop." And I used to be like, "Yo, don't worry about it, man. While I'm here for 8 hours, y'all just leave me alone. Y'all could work when I ain't here. Y'all got 16 more hours to do what the fuck y'all gotta do. But I gotta get the sergeant.
But
off
really,
my
when
back.
I look at a cop, they're supposed to be community service, and that means understand the community you're in, understand the kids that are out there. You don't want to ruin their lives like that.
Exactly.
Now, if they're out harming people, like what happened in the Bronx, to me, that's different. When I think of, like, what did Biggie say, I was just trying to feed my daughter. You know what I'm saying? You just said it.
I got a whole speech
So
and
it's like when you from that, you understand that. That's why it's very important that we are the people policing ourselves. I look at Washington Heights.
Right.
I do Dykeman basketball with Ken Stevens and Sharon.
Yeah.
Shout out them in Dykeman basketball. But one thing I noticed about that community, those police interact with all them kids.
Yeah, you
They
got
Spanish speaking though. There's all Dominicans up there.
Yeah.
They all talking to. You know what I'm saying? They know. I seen it with my own eyes. I heard it. Like they telling them, you doing something wrong. Get out of here. Don't do that in front of me.
I always say, Chris, the police need the community, and I don't care what nobody say. The community want the fucking police. I don't care what nobody say.
And to me,
I'm telling you,
that's what's missing. When I see that, I know it could happen, and it needs to happen more and more.
but I used to be, when I was a commander in Brooklyn, in Brownsville, which I believe is the most violent place in New York City. And the reason why it's the most violent is what people don't understand. For the people that's looking, that don't live in New York.
Heard that, Mitt?
Brownsville is 1 square mile.
Yep.
So when I was there, you got 1 bank, You got one Dunkin' Donuts, one McDonald's, but you have 12 housing developments. So here you have Van Dyke. Behind Van Dyke is Ceflo. Ceflo can't go. They got to go to school over behind Van Dyke. They can't go through Van Dyke to get to school. They got to go like 5-6 blocks, cut, make a left. Van Dyke can't go here. You got Ceflo. You got Unity houses. It's so many projects. When they built Tilden, come on. You can't go through these projects. That's why it's so violent. I never forget George Cunningham. That's a name I'll never forget. This is in the early 2000s. He walked on in the afternoon on Pickett Avenue with his 4-year-old daughter. 3 dudes walked up to him at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They said, kiss her goodbye. Wow. And he's like, nah, don't do this in front of my daughter. They said, you better kiss her now. He kissed her, and they murdered him. I'll never forget that name. Oof. Brownsville is a mother. And it's still, it ain't like that now, but
it's crazy.
Brownsville is ill.
Brownsville's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But I used to get shooters. I'm a captain. I'm a commanding officer, and people used to bring me guns. And the detectives thought I was on the tape. They'd be like, "How you get the gun?"
Let me ask you that. That's a great question.
No, but Chris, I have relationships.
Yeah.
So I go to barbecues in the projects, whatever, and I'll take 2 or 3 cops with me, and I go to barbecue, and I'll be like, "Yo, throw a turkey burger on there, and give me some of that macaroni and cheese." I'll be like, "Yo, want something?" They be like, "I ain't eating that shit." I'll be like, "Yeah, look at all these people dying." Like, it wasn't even about me eating the turkey burger. I didn't even care about the turkey. It was just letting them know, yo, I ain't no better than you. It's communications. Because now, like, I tell the cops, when you getting your ass beat at 2 o'clock in the morning, the pastor ain't going to be out there. These the people, you better get relationships. You better get them quick. Yeah. Like, I had no problem. So it was a shooting. They'd be like, yo, call me, yo, commander, I got the gun from the shooting. I tell the detective, like, yo, here's the gun. They be like, yo, how you get the gun? I said, that's not don't worry about that. Solve the crime. Right. I ain't telling you who gave me the gun. Your job is to solve the crime. Here's the gun. We got the gun off the street. So they was looking at
how does a community or a person, let's say a regular person that may have a change of heart, like from being Supreme Team to now cop or something to that nature, just don't want to be in that life involved no more. How do they organize, say, to get guns off the street back without worrying about bringing a gun to the police and saying, or they're getting caught themselves for having a gun or something?
Yeah, so the NYPD has this program, gun buyback program. Actually, I'm glad you said that because we naturally said I'm the one that started it. We used to have a gun buyback program where they say, bring a gun to the precinct, we give you $200.
Right.
Whether
it worked or not.
But nobody believed that. And I was saying, like, nobody believes that. We got to do some different shit. I said, so how about we do it at churches, right? Have the cops in plain clothes. No questions. That don't ask them where the gun came from. Because nobody's going to believe. You can't ask questions. Like, you got to be transparent. Bring the gun. Here's your money. Yeah. Goodbye.
Whether
the
it detectives,
that's their job to figure out who committed the crime. And the NYPD is doing that now. When I started that like 15 years ago, now they're getting so many guns off the streets.
No, it's so
they don't give me no credit. They don't give me no credit. I started that because I put it out from the streets. Like you can't. It's no questions asked. The ultimate goal is to get the gun.
They should give you $10 per gun that comes in for the rest.
You know what I'm saying?
That should be a residual, Chris.
You know the reason I say whether it work or not is because a gun, whether it work or not, it still has the same impact. Unless it's fired, right?
Just get the gun.
The gun, if it's the firing pin ain't working or something, when someone has it, they confront. They can still do things.
Me and you know, gangsters ain't giving up their guns.
Right.
But you might get the guy that's thinking about being a gangster. He's on welfare. He ain't got
need that money.
$200. Yo, gangsters
if
ain't
he's
giving
on welfare, he ain't a gangster.
I know. That's why I would tell him that gangsters ain't giving up.
If he's on welfare, he ain't a gangster though. If he's on welfare, he ain't a gangster.
That's what I'm
saying. Most gangsters carry it on them. Let's be honest, to defend themselves from the Mickey Mouse motherfuckers who are leeching and trying to take from the neck. That's that's where you take the guns from.
Right.
Some people need the gun because they're going to do the right thing. You might have your family, but they're the ones who carry the gun because they raping and pillaging the people.
Right.
Are the ones that they don't have a steady income.
But that's
that's
such a small segment of the community.
Yeah, but those will be incentivized by saying, man, fuck pulling liquor. I get $500 if I turn this gun in today. Let me go get this money.
Right.
A gangster ain't he's not incentivized by $500, $200.
He don't care about the money. But that's a small percentage. Yeah. But like back to your question, like if you're not building relationships, if you ain't being transparent with people, building like I do this money thing when I speak to kids, I'll pull out a wad of money. Like I'll go to the bank and get like 25 singles, and I'll put like 3 20s on top. And I'll go speak at a school, and I pull out a 20. I say, yo, I start off. I say, yo, who want this money? And they be like, everybody hands up. Who want this money? Who? Make a long story short, I wait till somebody get up, come to me, get the money, and then I'll grab them. Say, what's your name, Dinero? I say, yo, let's give him a hand. And I'll be like, look, you all had the same opportunity as Dinero. But if you sit in your chair, Dinero, you're going to have a bunch of Dineros taking your place. Like, you got to, like, do different stuff for the kids. Because you could use it. You give me credit, though.
Like Corey.
Yeah, the money shit.
He won his pub.
He
wants his pub.
That's why I did that.
But the moral to that whole story,
but it makes
when
sense.
I do the money thing, is to really capture those kids' attention. Because I tell them, I'm gonna give more money, so they waiting to get that next $20 bill. Then I'll ask them a crazy question like, "All right, they be like, what's the rest of the money?" I'll be like, "All right, spell pseudo for the Colitis Barbe," and they be like, "Huh?" You know, pseudo starts with an S. They all go P. They be like P. I'm like, no. Then like 3 minutes, it's fucking over. I keep my money and I go. But they heard everything that I had to say for the whole speech. You gotta grab their attention, man.
Right. And these young Z's and millennials, you gotta get their attention, man.
You gotta get their attention.
So
but
that's
listen,
why
I'm positive that things are gonna change with the kids. And I always tell these kids, like, yo, this thing changed the world, yo.
Everything.
Like when we was kids, we had Encyclopedia Britannica.
You had to read everything.
If you had, your parents had it.
That's right.
If you don't now, but today, yo, y'all got the world at your hand. You want to be a veteran? A veterinarian,
Search.
boom, boom, boom. Search, boom, it's there. You want to be a rapper? Boom, boom, boom. How to create bars, 4, 16, 8, whatever. How to do it's here.
You see, God is here.
They don't have to be in
God
the
is
streets.
here, but his name is Google.
Zach.
Ask God anything.
You know I'm going to use that.
Ask God anything.
Yeah, I'm going to use that.
Ask
Make
God
sure he gets that
anything,
credit.
brother. Hey, ask God anything. But you know, when you mention the kids, that's dope because at the end of the day, it's about that message to everybody.
So Corey, what made you write the book? So I know you do motivational speaking with the kids, like you just said, but what made you write the book?
I wrote the book because it was like,
and what's the name of the book? Announce it so everyone hears.
Once a Cop, The Street, the Law, 2 Worlds, 1 Man. That's the book.
Once a Cop.
Yeah. So I
Street,
wrote
the
book,
Law,
2 Worlds,
2 Worlds,
1 Man.
1 Man.
Yeah. So it was like I had to tell my story, and it wasn't even like I didn't know I was gonna get the documentary, TV deals, and all that. But I was just like, yo, I just want to help some of these kids that's out here misguided, doing the same dumb shit that we did. It was like, yo, I want to let them know, yo, you don't have to do this. I've been through that, but this is the better way. Instead of being in the streets, if I could do it over again, I would. If I had a white picket fence car and all of that house, I wouldn't have never did this shit, even though my man Sean Dew had all of that and he did it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was just
Queens.
about
Queens.
That was
Queens had dudes that had money or from a good family, but still was ruthless and doing all this.
But think about what we grew up with. Think about this, Chris. When we was out in the streets in the 80s, who was getting money? Drug dealers.
Just drug dealers.
Rappers wasn't getting money.
Not like that.
But look how the pendulum swing.
Not even
like
basketball
everybody,
players. Nothing like that.
Everybody wanted to be a drug dealer.
Yes.
But today everybody want to be a rapper. Yo, we live this pendulum. It's crazy. I mean, Run DMC was getting money. They was the biggest musical act in the world. LL, he wasn't. Yeah, he was getting a little money. But not like Running Them. Running Them was different.
Was the pinnacle. They was
but
the
you
top.
could name what on your hand 3 or 4 rappers that was getting money.
Yeah.
Nobody else. But now you got Preem coming to the block and be like,
light it up.
what y'all want to do? Yeah. Y'all want to ride mopeds? Come on. Let's go get 50 mopeds.
Yeah.
Like right now. Rappers couldn't do that.
They couldn't do that.
It was just different. Yeah. And now look how the pendulum swing to Murder Inc. being a freaking multi-millionaire selling the damn shit for $300 million. Like, they would. I saw this change. We seen this change.
Like live, real time.
Live. We lived it.
We lived it.
It's
It'll
crazy.
Take time. You know, it's funny. It's one of my
marathon.
Stories. It's a marathon. You know?
Everybody want to do a 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash from here to over there. But nobody want to do 26.5 miles.
Who's going to keep going?
Nobody want to do that marathon, Dinero. The marathon, you think of 26 miles, you're like, I ain't running that.
I also attested that most people, if you jump in the car right now and we drive to Philly, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. If we jump in the car and go to California, it's about a 2-day drive. We want to get to California the same amount it takes to get to Philly in 2 hours. Everyone's looking for a shortcut,
Can't even
a
do
quick
it on the plane.
Everyone. We see it all the time.
How long is it on the jet?
Shit.
No, what I mean is everyone's looking for that shortcut.
4.5 hours with the headwinds is right.
It's still not an hour. Right, it's still not a
citation
run, right?
on that citation.
Ain't no shortcuts, bro.
Ain't no shortcuts.
That's the fastest.
But that's the message to the kids. Like, yo, life is a marathon. Like, but you got to map it out. You got to know what you want to do. You got to stay focused.
That's the part.
And you can't let nobody
you say
get
that,
you off
right?
your game.
And I'm a product of it too. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So you have to try things to figure out what you want to do. What you start
I say
liking.
playing darts. You just throw them, and whichever one stick that you really like, when I hit bullseye.
You know, people are going to go with what they think they do the best.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That they think they're better than others at. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. Like, so when you try shit, you find things you really see, man, I'm really nice at this. Or I could get better at this and really be nice. You know what I mean? If you just do things that don't really give you that vibe.
I saw that little baby documentary last night.
Which one?
Crazy. The documentary on his life on Prime.
Oh.
Little baby.
Little baby.
How, like, Young Thug and them was telling, like, it was like, yo, he was heavy in the streets. I didn't know. Like, you gotta watch his documentary.
He was outside.
He was outside.
He was outside.
Yeah, but
I just talked about him in my other podcast.
Yeah, but they was like, yo, you got a little talent. Young Thug was like, yo, how much you make it? 5,000. Here's 5,000. Stay out the streets. Stay in the studio. And then, I don't know, his manager's P and some other dude.
COP.
Like, yeah, like
COP,
stay in this music thing. And this dude ends up being the #1 rapper in the world.
Nah, them niggas,
because somebody believed in him and saw the talent.
And then he took it and ran with it.
Man. I'm so proud of that dude, man.
Me too. I just said the same thing, man.
And all of these dudes, like,
I'm so happy for him.
The streets is dead or in jail. I'm telling you, as a cop, I'm telling the audience, the police know everything. So it's just a matter of, do I lock you up with this thing right here and cameras all over the place? You ain't getting away with nothing. It's over. The game is over. You're never going to do what we did in the 80s. It's over. So it's just a matter of the police figuring out, should I lock him up because he did his first cell, or do I get him for his 15th cell where now I got 15 charges against him? And that's what the police do. They just sit and pluck you off. Say, oh, we got him. We got him. Stay out the streets. The streets is nothing. It's too many opportunities now. It's too many opportunities for people to change their lives.
That's the facts.
But they have to want to do that.
Oh, well, that's the first part. You got
choices and decisions, brother. You know, and part of being successful is a little thing called discipline. Right? They have to. So it's rough, man. Pick a dream. You know, I look at it like if you have whether you have a GPS system in your phone, if you don't have an address to put in it, it's useless. Exactly. You need to be going somewhere. And I think that's when you say shooting darts is pick an address in your GPS of life and just fucking go and show up. What happens next will be the next way. You feel me? There's phases to life.
Man. So where can people find your book? I want to wrap this up with you with your book. And where's it at?
Yeah, they can get the book everywhere. It's on Barnes & Nobles. You could get it on Amazon. You could get it in Target, Walmart, wherever you want. It's called Once a Cop. Just Google it. You'll see my name, Corey Pegues. Order the book. It's a good read. Most people read it in 2 to 3 days. It's
nice.
Easy read. And hopefully it'll touch somebody's life that's close to you or yourself. And you make better choices.
Man, Corey, I want to thank you for coming, man. This is great.
Definitely.
Great time. Make sure you get the book, Once a Cop.
And make sure they see the documentary. I got the documentary
check
on
out
Hulu.
The documentary
it's on Hulu called A Cops and Robbers Story. You go to Hulu. You can see it on Amazon. You can see it on YouTube. It's called A Cops and Robbers Story. Make sure y'all check that out. Look forward to this TV series.
Again, go watch the documentary on Supreme Team.
Yeah.
It's in there as well. Make sure you see that.
I'm on the Supreme Team. I'm on Crack on Netflix. I'm on Crack. I'm on Hip Hop Uncovered on FX.
You never thought all of this shit, right?
I'm on all of it.
Who would have thought?
But look, Chris, think about all the crazy stuff I did, and now like I don't have to walk and turn around, watch my back.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Look
And
at
look
you.
when it
Look what y'all
happened.
doing, man.
No
I
question.
love it tonight. Look what y'all doing. Like,
Bless, man. Don't complain.
Bless.
yo, that monkey in your back in the streets is a mother. You know that.
Oh, you don't want that.
You don't want. You
Nobody
worried about
want
your
that.
girlfriend
Hey,
setting
nobody
you up,
wants
your mother
that.
setting you up.
All the toughest
man
niggas
setting
I
you
know,
up.
they don't want that.
I'm going to close it with this. Making these decisions and leaving the streets, you're going to see other people eat better than you, but you're going to sleep like a baby.
Exactly.
And the key is what he's saying is that what we have, Chris, is called peace of mind. And there's no dollar amount. Once you get to be our age, over 50, you're over 50, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Hey,
You
peace
see
of
all
mind
this-
is what you're
Yeah,
looking
you
for.
see this,
Hey,
yeah.
peace of mind is what I've seen 33-year-old motherfuckers with all that
Right.
gray hair, all fucked up. That's why I was making sure. And some motherfuckers out here, they ripped, bro. They done so much drugs, so much shit. They look
Hey,
like
he's
shit out
talking
here.
the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in the 80s. He's
But
with us.
we know, because we grew up on, I tell like, guys like us from New York, it's different. You know, when I was 5 or 6, I had even though we had the keys to the house, we would leave the house in the morning and play out all day. But we was dodging kidnappers. We was dodging mad shit.
Everything.
Without a phone, without none of that shit.
Didn't even know
But
it.
listen,
Didn't even know it.
but mom wouldn't worry because those were the times like, get the hell out the house.
Yeah.
What you do? There was nothing to do in the house.
Parks are
There's-
empty now.
Parks
is
I don't know.
empty.
And
90 degrees, the
you
park
don't-
is empty.
Yeah.
you don't need parks.
crazy.
Now you got metaverse. You got all these. The kids are inside. No one goes outside anymore. That's why I forced my kids to play sports because I was a way to get them out.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're all doing their thing. But I mean, I commend your story. But at the end of the day, I think that you still have the best days of your life are still ahead of you. You know what I'm saying? Especially since you're going out and what happens in life is. When you finally get to tell your story, you sit back and what you're trying to do is to tell these young kids is you don't have to go through half the shit we went through. Right? This is the formula. Chris, we're always around a bunch of people that have a ton of money. And through my journey, I had someone tell me, and I try to pass this along because we never got this formula. The formula is simple. Graduate from something. College, get a degree, right? At the end of the day, you went to police academy. That was your degree.
Yeah.
Graduate from something.
Don't. Let's be clear. I have a few degrees.
No. What I mean is, when you were young, when you were young, even joining the army, you had to. Even joining the army, you had to go, through certain tests. What I'm trying to tell the young people is, educate and graduate yourself from something, and do not have kids until you get married. If you can do those two things, you will be successful economically in this country. I can't guarantee you happiness. That's a choice you have to make. I can't guarantee you love because there's no book that talks that your mom, the only one that's going to love you is your mom and your dad and right, everyone else. I can't guarantee that, but I will guarantee you in this country, in this beautiful capitalistic society, that the only color they see is green. Trust me, right?
That's right.
Is that if you graduate from something and you do not have kids until you get married, you're going to be okay.
Yo, that's crazy. You said my nephew, Shawnee, shout out Shawnee, he live in Maryland. He just graduated from high school like 4 years ago. And my sister and my brother-in-law was like, you wasn't coming here with A's and B's. We ain't paying all this college stuff. You know what he told me? He said, I want to do HVAC. HVAC is the air conditioner. Right? So he said, send me to this trade school.
Right? That.
3 weeks after high school, he went to trade school. He just bought a brand new Mustang. He's 21 years old.
But they can't take that knowledge. It's about knowledge.
Because college ain't for every kid.
No, what I mean, graduate from something.
Our kids say, go to college. Now you get a $40,000 loan. Kid drop out. You stuck with $40,000.
What I mean is, the kid has to want. Yeah, you got to know. You could go to.
Hit it on the nose.
Hey, what was that school they got in Orlando? Like the kids that want to be engineers.
MIT.
ITT Tech. Do that, right? If you want to become an engineer, go graduate.
Right.
The thing about being a rapper, there's no school. That's the problem.
I got a 25-year-old son that's a rapper, Starborn. What's up, boy?
Starborn, what up, boy?
He in the studio every day. But I say, Starborn, he nice too. He nice. I send you some shit. I say, but listen, you're going to wake up, you're going to be 30. I said, Rick Ross didn't get his deal to 30-something, right? I said, yo, get a job, man. All he want to do was rap. His mother got that titty in his mouth. So, he ain't doing the struggle like I did. 17, 18, my mom's died. My father wasn't around. I had to get money.
You're Generation X, baby. Man.
They different.
Our generation, when you hit 18, they kick you the fuck out.
It's over. But yo,
my job is done with you. Go out. Right? That's why guys would join the army and kind of go do their thing. Because our era was like, You going somewhere? Because you ain't staying your ass in here.
You ain't staying here.
Now
I
we
appreciate y'all
overprotect.
having
Man,
me.
I want to thank you again, man. This is Chris Gotti Lorenzo, Don Dinero.
You already know, giving them the negocio, right in the sweetie.
Giving them the business, baby. Oh, man, Corey, man, thank you again for coming through, man.
Definitely, bro. Great story. Great story, man. Great story. God bless.
I'm going to send y'all some books, too.
Definitely.
Y'all better read it, too.
Like, share, subscribe. Go get that book, Once a Cop.